The running rounds the bends and into the home straight. There's a playoff lie in wait for Gloucester, who simply must bag 5 match points today. Well, it's the Calais Saints who retrieve the kickoff, and it's the first sighting of Tariq Hafar. He'll be a sorely felt loss to Leicester next season after his heroics a couple weeks ago. A fumble forward at the base from Johnny Wyman, and he is introduced to the jeers of the shed.
You always love to hear it, don't you? And they're getting stuck in really early, not even a minute on the clock yet. But it's a bright start by Northampton Saints, winning that kick-off back initially, just letting Gloucester know pretty early doors that they're definitely here to play and have their say in this game.
Well, they haven't made us wait, have they, the big boys? A titanic clash, and Afo Fosogbon there, locking horns with his old London Irish Academy teammate, Tariq Hafar.
Stay high!
I bet there's a bit of chat going on
Beautiful.
in there. Thomas Williams thinks about going right, changes his mind and releases the backs, and Anscombe is flowing and Carreras is on hand. Cotgrave has been in the tries, but the pass can only find the touchline.
Oh, what a starter play that was. This is what Gloucester have done all season. This is Santi Carreras just at the end of that play. Just not quite accurate enough, but the initial build-up was fantastic. Anscombe faked one way, came back the other. The handling in the middle is brilliant, and unfortunately just couldn't finish it off on the end.
First line out of the day, safely pouched. Played pretty solid, if unremarkable, at set piece, these two sides. The chief line-out stealers amongst them, such as Josh Kemeny and Freddie Thomas, not on the field right now. That is one right into the no-man's land, and oh, goodness me, Tom Pearson has emptied Jack Cotgrave as he... Well, he didn't knock it on. It's in Gloucester hands, and Santi Carreras surveys his options with the boot.
I think it's gone backwards.
Well, some early nerves on display from the young Saints, but Jake Garside goes dancing out of trouble. Slight home, weaving his way through. A hat-trick last May in the 90-0 humbling that broke records, and a few Gloucester faithfuls resolve as well.
But that box kick initially by Wyman was brilliant, wasn't it? Just fell into, as you said, no man's land. It wasn't long enough for the Gloucester backfield to come and collect. And it just sows that seed of uncertainty now. Do the Gloucester backfield come up a bit higher? Potentially leaves the over the head. And this is Saints getting into their flow. Thought they were getting through some good phases, and it's just the big men in the middle able to hold that up. Such an attack killer, isn't it, when you're going into contact that high? You're not able to get the fast ball that you want, and is so synonymous with how Northampton Saints play the game.
Bind! Set!
Big blindside to work with here, but Gloucester go open, and Wade is lurking, but it's Carreras once more. Finds Cotgrave on this occasion! And the flyer from Bidford RFC makes it 3 tries in his last 3. And the Cherry and Whites are on the board within minutes here at Kingsholm.
It's so good and it's so accurate. We perhaps saw a warning shot just a couple of minutes earlier. It's through Anscombe's hands. It looks like it's potentially going out the back to Wade. It doesn't. It goes straight across the face. Harris with a pretty simple draw and pass, and they've just got great numbers on the outside. It's that ball from Anscombe across the face. Chris Harris draws. Carreras again, and it's pretty much a walk-in on the end, isn't it? But again, it's such slick handling from Gloucester. And just, as I say, just a couple of things that Northampton Saints, certainly defensively from those starter plays as a backline, just need to be having a few conversations about.
And the sound of the shed will tell you that the Puma is on point from the tee.
It's really, really simple when you look at it. Every pass is out in front, everybody's in full motion, understanding their role. Scrum attack at the moment is one of the best places, I think, to attack from, and certainly Gloucester have made a brilliant start.
You mentioned the circus in the build-up. That's an acrobatic take. And Gloucester seem to have settled themselves rather nicely. Thomas Williams, who was named at the Wednesday Club Awards as the player of the season, sends one high, and Garside is very much a match to it. Leaving Saints at the end of the season, having been with them since an under-14. Hutchinson, fourth start at 10, never won a game when he started at fly half. Is today the day? Well, he's got a lot of red jerseys swallowing him up right now to try and stop that ambition. Beautifully flipped out the back, multi-layered attack and a roll forward by Archie Benson. First Prem start for the blind side. Ooh, and that is no way through, says Freddie Clark. Saints working their way through the phases, little basketball style over the top of the shoulder from Hutchinson.
Just got to re-find themselves a bit of shape, which they look like they're starting to do now on this left-hand side. Just yo-yoed for a little bit, ran out of numbers. Oh, they've actually got away with one because they've managed to get a penalty out of that situation, but just started to look like they were kind of just lost their way a little bit in that middle part of the field. This is the penalty infringement just at the breakdown. You can see, I think, there's a rolling away and a not releasing in there. You can see the referees trying to gesticulate, trying to get that clean ball.
Chinyamunga claims it cleanly. Slight home is injected, and he is raw power. Grappling with Christian Wade, but it's the Saint who emerges on top. Northampton zagging back to the left. Pearson! He's back, and he's scoring.
Well, what a brilliant response that is immediately from Northampton Saints. I was criticising them in the middle of the field for potentially not got their attack going as they would want, but the penalty gave them a real opportunity. This is the initial bit from Ollie Slightholme. They'll be trying to get him on the ball as much as possible this afternoon. Know what a threat he is with the power that he possesses. And then backed up by Tom Pearson. We spoke about it pre-game. We've not seen him in 6 weeks or so, but he is all power, all class. And I'm sure he'll be wanting a big game ahead of potentially a big summer.
Hutchinson, from a carbon copy of his kicking counterpart in cherry and white, does the business too. That was a peach of a strike. And just shy of 9 minutes gone, and we're at sevens.
And this is the game we all hoped for, I think, didn't we? You know, a beautiful day down here in Gloucestershire. Both teams that love playing with ball in hand. You know, not even 9 minutes on the clock, and we're a try apiece.
Well, you alluded to it there, Skaz. There are some summer tours that players have got their eyes on. Some of these Gloucester boys were in that camp with Steve Borthwick. The Saints players not selected for the Lions, they weren't involved due to the Champions Cup and those little miniature battles that are happening around the park. It's, well, certainly for Saints, it's a lost opportunity to put your hand up for Argentina.
Exactly, it's huge, isn't it? And obviously the boys selected for camp last week, obviously there were players there not there from the teams in Europe, so Northampton Saints and Bath, etc. So you never know if you're going to be invited into the next one. So every opportunity you have to take it with both hands, whether that's in camp or in a game like this. So yeah, there'll be a lot of people feel like they're on audition.
Well, one man who's not on audition is Christian Wade. More than 90 Premiership tries tells you that he's well past that. And he's off to Rugby League as well. Wigan Warriors, the destination.
Tackle now, Saints.
And this season's done. Is it going to be today? Is it going to be in a week's time? Harris just takes it right to the line and sacrifices his body in the process. Carreras can't escape Ed Prowse. And now it's Ackerman. Anscombe. Oh, just rips one off the right hand. Cochrane stretches his legs as his captain to almost drag him into the 22, but loses the ball in the process. It is the open game, I think, that we were hoping for, Emily, and everyone here, though. I think that the Gloucester fans, judging by the noise, were hoping it may be a little easier, but that charge down will do very nicely if the hamstrings can stretch. But the whistle's already gone.
Well, this is what Gareth Anscombe gives you. Look at that ball. So much space out there for Cochrane. At this point, I think there's got to be a pass on inside. There's two support players, Ludlow and Anscombe, following the pass.
Back for the knock on by 11.
That's the maturity of a player. Step back in, little lift inside.
Build,
Can
please.
you keep that play alive?
He'll be up in time.
Unfortunately, they lose the ball on that occasion, but just, again, those warning shots for Northampton Saints finding a lot of space on those edges at the moment.
Let's go. We got time, Jack.
A few running repairs for the young man who's finding this Premiership lot all a little bit easy, if we're being honest. A debut in April against Sarries, 3 tries in his last 3. What's all the fuss about?
Crouch.
That was like when you started, Skaz.
Bind. Set.
Stable platform for Wyman to dish it up to a battering ram. Well, tries to buy the penalty, but it doesn't work if you torpedo it into the referee's lower back.
Yeah, I should do. Sorry.
Would it just looks like one red?
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? Because I think the idea of what he was trying to do was right, because Litchfield had a really strong carry. All of those Gloucester forwards are essentially offside running back. So although he's not trying to hit the referee, what he is trying to do is highlight that everybody on that side, that whole front row, as you can see there from Gloucester, are all offside. So he is trying to eke the penalty. It's smart thinking, just a little bit on the execution.
No worries.
Definitely head on head. They settled down.
We need a bit more space. It works, but we get a bit more space.
Well, meters coming easy for the Cherry and Whites,
line out and scrum,
dwarfing
the space to take
those numbers offered by the Saints. But other than that,
just hold a bit of space, please. Just hold your 5 metres.
Only 13 minutes or so gone, isn't it? But I think that probably highlighted that bit where we spoke around Saints just in the middle of the field, didn't really go anywhere until they obviously got that penalty and were able to score that try. Whereas Gloucester, when they do have ball in hand, finding loads of space, not under huge amounts of pressure. And at the moment for Gloucester, it's actually how can we keep hold of it, recycle it, and keep that phase of play going. It's probably just been a little bit soft on a couple of edges.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Steady. Use the ball 9.
Gloucester get the nudge, but Wyman gets it away, and Hutchinson arrives in the second layer. Garside wrapped up by Harris, but just across the halfway threshold. Pearson being matched by his opposite 7. Just the early emergence of that battle as Hafar exploits his explosivity. Oh, beautiful pickup. It wasn't intended for Lumley, but he made the most of it, and Wyman spots some green grass.
Retreat, Gloucester. Okay, all good now.
Carreras seeks salvation of the touchline, but again, nice passage from Saints.
Yeah, it's again a good start to play. Hopefully that's going to be the theme throughout this game, is strong backline strike moves from scrums. That would make me very happy. But yeah, really strong in that sense. And Wyman had a nice kick, but Slightholme just wasn't on the same page, so he wasn't able to chase it. There's a fair bit of space back there.
Well, Litchfield is getting through some work, isn't he, in these opening 14 minutes. The tip from Henry Walker, a former Cherry and White himself. And Wyman instructed to change things up. That's a good angle, and Christian Wade doesn't have much room to work with, but does he need any? Tom Pearson is not going to enjoy seeing that one at the end of season dinner.
At least it's by a winger, isn't it? But initially, look at the weight on this kick. Doesn't go out. Christian Wade's willing that out. Brilliant feet. This is the kick. Just sits. He wants that to kick on and get out. The feet on that is brilliant. Slight home. No real attempt to tackle him, but bumps him into touch nonetheless.
Slight home. Arrives from the blind side and barrels on forward. Wyman just puts a question mark on the fringes, then brings in Prowse, but the ball is out, and that's Singleton's meat and drink. There's a lot of jerseys out here if Ackerman can find the offload.
Yeah, he's won the ball. He won it on his feet.
Turnover Saints. Pearson bullying his way through. Prowse, a huge man, felled by Clark.
Isolated player.
An awesome passage, just oozing desire from both sides. And, well, look sharp, Saints, because the Cherry and Whites are off, and Thomas Williams, the Mercurial, has given it to Cockreeve. One try already. Slaloming his way through the white jerseys. Now it's Saints! Surely not. Garside! Garside pins his ears back! And it's an excellent tackle. Lasoud round the laces from the Puma, who's now got the ball. This is chaos.
Time off!
But the whistle's gone because a serious injury
Yeah, Gloucester scrum here. Time off, please.
is being tended to on the 5-metre line of Gloucester.
We'll stop for a scrum here.
I mean, we'll enjoy the mayhem in a moment, but for now, all concern to the stricken player.
Just clear that up for us, please, Rosie.
Yeah, just having a look now, mate.
I know what caused it.
Definitely clear, but it's the breakdown where you give them the holding on penalty.
Yeah.
Tap and go quick.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's fine.
He's checking the head on head now.
They will be
Woody?
checking something, yeah.
Woody, on that tackle, we do have a head-on-head before we get to that breakdown.
Okay.
Just bear with me, looking through it now to see what the injury is after that.
Yeah, that's fine.
So quite
So you've got
a bit to pick
you said
through
we've got
here
foul play.
for our
Yeah,
officiating
foul play by
team.
red.
Okay,
In the just as on the number 4, the tackle on the number 4.
okay. And just check whether or not that causes the injury as well. So I know I've given a holding on penalty, but they're taking it quick. So within protocol, we can still check it because we haven't had time to. We've lose the opportunity to check the restart. Yeah,
That's correct.
that's fine. Okay, so should we check it now, Rosie, or do you need a little bit more time?
Just bear with me.
Okay.
So, Woody,
Yes.
it's not a foul play injury; it's an impact injury when he lands. So we'll check the foul play in terms of the head-on-head contact.
Okay. So
Okay.
we'll just check this one.
So
So they're saying that the injury
I think the
isn't
injured
caused by
player
this,
is
but
Ed
we still need to
Prowse.
check the foul play. brief.
Difficult to
That's
see
correct,
because of the
yeah.
numbers
I'm gonna show you
around
head
him,
on head.
but
I'm gonna get the
that's
first
not
angle
the that's
for
not
you in a
the
moment. Just
issue.
bear with me.
It sounds like it's the play before that the officiating party are investigating. David Rose, the match TMO.
Just bear with me, Woody. I'm just trying to tee it up for you.
That's fine. Okay. Okay. That's fine.
Well, they're waiting for the angle to
So
see
Woody,
what has unfolded. There
here
was so
comes the-
much
the
there,
first,
and in the middle of all that,
show
the
you from the
applause
side here, the tap-
is for Ed Prowse getting up.
This is the best angle we've got coming here now, Woody.
Yeah.
So you can see, I think it's Gloucester player coming in there, number 5.
Okay.
Don't. Yeah.
Okay. So
We're not going to show any more, because that's with injuries.
Don't need to show the ending. So yeah, the injury isn't caused by foul play. So we have Gloucester 5 coming across. I'm seeing the initial contact on the body and then making some contact with the head. Okay. At the moment, I'm seeing a penalty only. If he's coming backwards, I'm not seeing a high degree of danger. Yeah, entering it, missing it. Yeah. So we're going to just restart with the penalty.
Okay, that's fine.
Thanks, mate. I'll just explain it. Tom, Lewis. So the injury is not caused by foul play. Okay, no. That's not what we were checking. There was some head contact in the build-up, so it's to be a penalty against Gloucester where the injury happened here. Okay, so it's your penalty.
We've already had the phase, though, no?
That's because we're allowed to check within protocol because you guys quickly took it. We haven't had time to check it. That is the protocol.
And sorry, what was the mitigation for the head-on-head?
Not high degree of danger for me, on the body, and then with a bit of head contact.
So you can do head-on-head, it's only a penalty now? Is that true?
You can have a high tackle and still be a penalty, Tom. All right, we don't need to argue about this now. It'll be here.
Right, I'm going to leave that to you to pick the bones out of, Emily.
I mean, it's a fair question, isn't it, by Tom Pearson? Obviously, the injury itself was caused, by what we can gather, by the impact on the floor post that. But yeah, certainly the referee have said, oh.
Wow, amongst all that, Saints exact revenge in the sweetest way possible. A bulldozing burst from the midfield. Saints have a second, and they have the lead here at Kingsholm in Gloucester's must-win match.
I mean, there is so much to unpick in that last sort of 4 or 5 minutes. The play beforehand, where it was just turnover lottery at times at those breakdown quick taps, running from the 22. Then we have the long pause, obviously, for the injury. For me, it potentially looked like more than a penalty. I'd love to see it again. But then, as you say, Northampton Saints have just said, well, we're off then, let's do this. Tom Litchfield, I think he's been brilliant so far this game, occupying that centre role, just going big and straight and getting themselves ahead on the scoreboard.
Well, oh, goodness me. The ultimate coach killer from Wyman. And pressure heaped back on the Northampton Saints. With just the tonic for Gloucester.
It's one of the biggest cliches in the game, I think, at the moment, isn't it? But it's always about, when you've scored, back it up with your restart, get a clean exit or get some form of play where you're really cementing that score by being in a good position on the field or having a sustained period of territory. And unfortunately, Northampton, with just a really soft error, haven't been able to do that.
Use it!
Ackerman doesn't give it to Atkinson, instead Thomas Williams puts some air on it. Cotgreave is going to coast home once more. Jack Cotgreave just can't stop scoring in cherry and white.
Well, we called it pretty early doors in terms of this scrum strike plays. We'll just have a quick look at this. The finish, does he get it down, or are his feet clear of the touchline? Oh.
Woody, his foot's in touch before he hits the ground, mate. No try.
He's in touch. He's in touch.
Well, you can see here, just as he gets air time, but his feet come down before his body and the ball, which unfortunately...
Does it hit the pace?
It's so hard to see whether that's down, isn't it?
I think it hits the corner flag. And the corner flag sort of ricochets his foot up.
Can you just confirm that foot does?
I'm just going to rock and roll it, Woody, because it's, on first glance, looks like it touches the ground. Just watching again.
Yeah, that's fine. From this angle, it looks like it potentially doesn't touch the floor.
Yeah, it does, Woody. It does touch the floor.
It does touch the floor.
Yeah, it does touch the floor.
Live, you think? Hold on. So, Rosie, just to clarify, but you've got footage. This is clearly touching the floor.
It clearly touches the floor. Yeah.
Okay. So
you almost need a camera that's absolutely parallel with the ground, don't you, to see whether it is on the ground or whether it's still elevated.
all the bells and whistles we've got, and there's no corner flag count.
No quick ones. No quick ones.
I think one thing we have to trust in is that TMO in the truck has definitely got more angles potentially than we've been able to see. But nonetheless, again, Gloucester finding so much space on that far side, really where there just shouldn't be any.
Use it.
Well, what a first quarter. So much going on. Just electricity in every act that is happening, be it in Red's all-white jersey. It's been a busy one for the officials too.
Time off.
We managed to walk to that place.
But in summary, it is Gloucester 7, Northampton 14. And we're halfway through a breathless first half.
I'm loving this so far, Manzi. I don't know about you. It's toe-to-toe, isn't it? Two teams. Everybody spoke coming into this game. Northampton saying it's heavily rotated, lots of youngsters. This is the last game of the season, and those youngsters that haven't played a huge amount all year have got a hell of a lot to prove, and they're certainly stepping up at the moment.
Gloucester just chew up a few midfield meters. Atkinson, we've hardly said his name all game, and he has just been the standout for them this season. Young Player of the Season at the awards on Wednesday. Oh, Jack Clement just muscles his way on, and then the hands let Gloucester down. And not quite clicking for the Cherry and Whites right now.
Yeah, just not quite the finishing touch of accuracy that we've been used to seeing from them all season. Nothing really wrong with that pass. Potentially just picks his head up, sees that he's going to be under a little bit of pressure. We've seen it a couple of times now on the edges. Just that little bit of inaccuracy where we're used to seeing them. Once they're flying, they are scoring tries for fun. They have done all season. Just not found that clinical edge yet in this game.
Crouch.
These young Saints
Bind.
have nothing to lose, do they?
Set.
Wyman 19 has 18-year-old Henry Lumley outside him in the centres. And Wyman goes for a dance on his own. Tumbles over the halfway.
Tackle.
Hutchinson just orchestrating the big men around and ahead. Pearson can't stretch that tall. But Litchfield just looks uber comfortable with any ball that he's dished up. You give him good ball, he scores your tries. That was his first of the season, if you can believe it, and now, well, I think Saints of all are probably the most pleased that that whistle went in the end.
Just a couple of loose plays by Wyman in terms of just pass accuracy, just not sighting where he wants that ball to go. Got away with one, and are lucky that he's come back for the penalty, and Hutchison gets to clear to the corner. But it's good to see the young nine having a little snipe early doors, but your bread and butter as a scrum half is making sure that that ball goes exactly where it needs to go.
A semi-steal from Gloucester is denied a full steal, as there was a feather forward before Clark Arthur, that is, got his hands on the ball.
I think he'd seen the try line then, Clark, and he was eyes lit up at that opportunity. Good line out D from Gloucester. Obviously last time they were in that position, Northampton went on to score their first try through Pearson, so wanted to get up, wanted to put them under pressure.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Stay high.
There is an anxious energy here at Kingsholm right now, and it's all testament to the young Saints, but the power of the props and the pack just turn the dial a little.
Cross to the floor.
It's almost like this crowd, and certainly all of Kingsholm, thought the anxiousness would be because of the results going on elsewhere, not because of their own side's performance and potentially what they were doing within their own game. I think most Gloucester fans would have thought coming here today, playing a young Saints side, that it would not be a formality, because it never is, but certainly they'd have the upper hand for most of the game, and as it's panning out so far, they're not quite getting it all their own way.
Singleton to his captain. Oh, that was tantalising. Then Atkinson latches. He ignores Harris. Instead, Cotgreve will bag his face in that left-hand corner. He's got two, but let's talk about that delicious long ball from the young player of the season, Seb Atkinson.
There's so many good things in that try. Again, it's a starter play from Gloucester. So much of what Gloucester have done this season has come out the back, so this ball here from Thomas Williams would come out the back to an Anscombe or a Wade, and what they've done this game is they've just gone straight across the front. Seb Atkinson, as we've spoken about, he's been brilliant. He decides to pick the 30-metre absolute baller pass instead of potentially the simpler one to Harris. But it's just that midfield of Saints, Litchfield and Lumley, just getting themselves a little bit lost with all the runners that Gloucester are throwing at the line. But it's so well taken. And again, Cotgrave in awe. Absolute acres of space out there.
No dice this time for Santi Carreras, but Gloucester are back to within a pair of points. Cotgreve is very fast, establishing himself as something of a finisher. 4 tries in his last 3, and an assisting pass from last round's player of the match, Seb Atkinson. I think Chris Harris might have a word with him in the bar after.
As a centre, you're always looking for the fastest possible finisher, and that's what Atkinson's done on that occasion.
Well, no parting try just yet for the Scots and Lion Chris Harris. But there is a penalty for Saints, and Seb Atkinson the culprit.
He didn't seem too happy about the decision. You never are. You always think you're right, don't you, when you're over the ball like that. It's Hutchinson that carries in. You can see there, Seb Atkinson, there's no real release. He takes the player to ground with him. Got to flap your hands, got to show some form of air between you and the body before you can have a go at the ball.
Complex line-out movement, and it works for Saints and for Finn Brown, who really launches himself across the 10-metre line. Garside, a converted scrum half, now making his name in the back 3. Pearson to Hafar. But Gloucester are being real nuisances here. Now Garside steps into that old position. Oh, it was in between 1 and nothing, but it's worked out kindly for Toby Cousins, who's side down, and Saints are really letting their offloading game flourish here.
It's off.
But they run out of pitch.
It's off the white hand.
There's real danger when the Saints backline get flowing.
Lewis, you've got a scrum or a line-out option. Scrum or line-out option.
Just look at this tackle from Santi Carreras.
Knock on into touch.
That is an absolute last man, all or nothing tackle to be making, and he does a brilliant job. Covers the ground really well, gets low, drives his legs, holds on tight, because as you say, although that pass didn't exactly go to hand, sometimes a bounce pass is more deceptive than any other pass. It looked for all money, like Saints and Cousins were having a run to the try line there.
Yeah, they're going to miss the Puma next season when he's going to earmuffs. Gloucester fans, he's off to Bath. It'll be blue, black and white, and he's going to get a slightly different reception from the gentleman station to his left. Gloucester are looking to flex their scrummaging muscles, and they do so to the tune of a penalty. Thomas Williams thinks he has advantage, but the blast of Anthony Woodthorpe's whistle has already gone.
That's a couple
Scrum
now for
spun all the way
Gloucester,
around.
isn't it, in terms of scrum pens? Obviously deep down in your own territory, they're 5 metres from your try line.
Couldn't play advantage there.
As much as Santi Kroos is waving for the ball,
Takes the 8
that
feet.
front eight are having absolutely none of it until they know what they can get out of it, and at the moment they definitely have the ascendancy scrum time.
Another wayward throw from Jack Singleton, and it's just feeding the kernels of hope that exist within the Saints. But they may as well stop running now. Chalk up another for the arch-try scorer himself. Off to lead, but saying so long to Union with a trademark try.
Oh, that's tough, isn't it? I mean, Christian Wade will pick those up all day long. He's far too experienced. You can see him there, he's just in the channel. Lumley gets lured into it on his Prem debut. Thinks there's an opportunity out wide for Northampton. Christian Wade just has other ideas, and as you say, as soon as he's caught that ball, every single Gloucester player throws their hands in the air because they know nobody is getting anywhere near him. Despite Cousins' effort from the far side, he made up a fair amount of ground.
The exuberance and folly of youth from Cousins to think he could chase down one of the best to ever do it. But the crumbs of comfort for Saints is it'll just be a 5-pointer.
Oh, they're really tough ones as well, because Saints turn over from the line out, move the ball really well down the back line, and they're the ones where you've got to scan and scan again, and Christian Wade just held that position on that outside channel. As soon as you see him a little bit in that space, probably put your head down and accept the next phase, but it's a great pick from someone of such quality.
Well, that is what you call an exit, isn't it? And for that man, it's number 92. He is now level with his former Wasp teammate, Tom Varndell. That's still a whole 9 behind Chris Ashton. There is still time. There is still time, especially if there's another match in Gloucester's future. And for now, they've got 3 of the requisite 4 tries that they require for a try bonus.
Backwards.
Like a pinball. The ball jumbles around. It's a wondrous pick-up. And the future Lion gets Kingsholm roaring to the tune of a bonus point try.
Well, no one goes up to claim that box kick initially. Everyone steps away from it. No Northampton players are able to get up. Then they get the tap back. We'll have to have another look at it to see if there is any hint of a knock-on. But the reactions and hands
in that competition
from Freddie Clark are brilliant.
Yeah, tries good, Woody.
Yeah, Northampton just get up. That all goes backwards. And then look at that pick and pop from Freddie Clark, Thomas Williams. Brilliant score for them, and what a momentum shift that last 5 minutes has been with the intercept and with that try. Both pretty fortuitous, really. But as you say, that's now the bonus point try for Gloucester.
Oh, Freddie Clark, part-time rugby player, full-time yoga instructor. How did he stoop that low to scoop that offload?
No, we're good.
And Carreras doesn't get the rub of the green off the left-hand furniture. Thomas Williams, I mean, Gloucester are glad to have him. I think that everyone who watches the Gallagher Premiership are pretty pleased at his arrival. He has been unreal this year.
I think for me he's been signing of the season. I think obviously the quality that he's brought, but then also how he's ignited this Gloucester backline with many other players as well. But it's been brilliant to watch. Oh.
How on earth? Well, he didn't, but he so almost did. And that is a 50-22 as well.
50-22.
He's not happy about it, is he? Be good to see this one again. It's a brilliant kick. Hutchison just picks his head up, keeps that low. It's definitely going out for a 50-22. I mean, he's still in the field of play when he taps it back initially, and in the field of play when he regathers it, so be worth another look, that one. I can see why he's unhappy.
He did it so casually as well.
Holding on.
Well,
backwards.
The net
One by Saints.
is a penalty to Gloucester, so really a more optimal outcome.
Backwards by Gloucester.
And also really good to see Santi Carreras up and running after, well, an involuntary spinal correction from Ben Stevenson, who saw red up at Kingston Park for taking him out in the air. Jay Garside is a tenacious runner, and he's bouncing around off the balls of his feet, and he's got some real meters for Pearson and co to work with. The replacement, Callum Hunter-Hill, his last game in Saints colours before moving on.
Tackle now!
Flying between Kieran Knight and Tarek Hafar. Well, that has to be the easiest breakdown penalty that Anthony Woodthorpe has given all season.
Oh, it's so soft. Everyone knows you can't do that. This is the break initially. Santi Carreras isn't able to make touch. Garside picks it up, takes on one, goes through the middle, keeps his feet so well, rebounds, twists, turns, footwork again, and pretty much takes Northampton right back to where that kick was initially. Fantastic break from him. Brilliant running back of that ball. He's looked really lively this afternoon.
Saints, in the closing minutes of an absorbing first half, deploy the left wing cannonball. Ollie Slight home. Oh, this would really be a boost before the half-time huddles. Wyman goes close before he's swallowed by Red. Burrowing around for the ball, Tarek Hafar surges on.
That's held up.
And held up. But a double blast is never usually good news for the team defending.
You're going to go to the bin. Hold on. Lewis. So, that's held up. Yeah. But your three makes a tackle when he's on his knee. It's cynical offence, it's a yellow card. Off you go. Three Gloucester on his knee when he makes a tackle.
Gloucester are going to see out the remainder of this first half, and a big portion of the opener for the second without Afo Fosogbon. His old academy teammate, Hafar, thrusts on.
Holding on.
And a golden opportunity spurned by the Saints.
Northampton made really hard work out of that as Fosogbon trundles off for his yellow card. They chose to quick tap it, and it just looked like it came loose somewhere in the initial contact. Then they're scrambling, then they're done for holding on. Brilliant riposte by Gloucester, but a massive chance gone a-begging from Northampton.
Well, the yellow was for making a tackle whilst on the floor. When you're on the floor, you're deemed out of the game, and you can't do anything. I always think that's a really harsh law. It's perfectly enforced here. There's nothing against the referee. I always think that's so tough, isn't it?
It's really difficult. I think you want the onus and the advantage to be to the attacking side, and if you've got 10 men on their knees defending their try line, that's almost impossible to breach, isn't it? So you want them on their feet, off the floor, to try and at least allow some space and opportunity for that attacking side.
Well, speaking of space, Gloucester have been swimming in it out left today. Garside has really been a bright spot today, and again he just surges on in. His frame belying his power, and Hutchinson goes out the back. Litchfield has really been a calm port in stormy Gloucester seas today, and it's opened up for Cousins. There's loads of room here. The straightening, and then
he's won the ball,
thrashing across. The debutant draws some quizzical cries from the shed, but still Saints come. Clock in the red. Wyman to Cousins. Cousins spills. Carreras doesn't seek touch, instead he spins Slight home, and that is as big a 50-22 as you'll see anywhere on the planet. And the great shame is we won't get to see the fruits of it, because it's half-time here. Carreras' right boot with the final say of a thrilling first half of Gallagher Premiership playoff hunting rugby. Half-time here at King's home. Gloucester have a bonus point and they lead Northampton Saints 22 points to 14. Second half underway in the final round of this season's Gallagher Premiership, which has kept us gripped to the very last round of the regular season. At the moment, the playoff grip of Gloucester is not under their control. They are hoping for favours from Quins, from Exeter, elsewhere in the country. And Carreras wants one more game in cherry and white. Christian Wade has dispensed with his head guard. I don't know if that's a good or a bad omen. He's already got one try, and the shapes are complex and fluid from the Gloucester backline. Harris accelerates to the doorstep of the 22. Ackerman, who's carried with gusto for more than 170 games, ever since he came with his father all those years ago. And Clark, oh, just loses control en route to the floor.
It's a knock-on.
Well, I spoke about the joy that Gloucester have had on this right-hand side, and they've had it again. And it's Cousins' wing, and Northampton have to do something different in order to not gift a very talented, very athletic Gloucester backline that much space on this, well, it's now the left-hand side, I suppose.
And the shed, Serenade, a man who's been with them since 2017. Stayed more than 5 seasons after his father, former coach Johan, departed.
Crouch!
And he's spoken this week about his respect for the shed and what their fans have given to him, what they continue to give to the players on the park. And a nice moment
Get the gap right, please.
for him before moving on to rugby pastures new.
Let's go. 7, let's go. Second. Let's go, team. 7, let's go.
Crouch!
So a reminder that Gloucester are playing with 14. They're scrummaging now with Kirill Gotovstev at tight head, because Afo for Sogbon is in the bin. Saints have a few numbers here. Garside, it just looks like something's going to happen every time he gets the ball. The player who's been sacrificed, by the way, is Ruan Ackerman to accommodate Gotovstev there.
Holding on.
So we may yet see Ruan Ackerman return, is the long and short. So maybe not the big send-off just yet.
But this is what Lewis Ludlow does in his sleep. Good tackle, falls at his feet, straight on top of it, gets a grip on the ball. And it's such an obvious and easy decision for the referee to make, but he just bides his time really nicely. Great turnover for Gloucester, and now in a really strong attacking position.
Jack Singleton has played every game this Premiership campaign. Its captain takes his eye off the ball. So a wild swipe from the right boot of Henry Walker, and a largely
every knock on I give.
unaesthetically pleasing passage comes to a close there.
I think Northampton have got away with one there, and Walker especially. As a hooker, those opportunities, you've got to dive on that ball. I understand the appetite to want to hack that through and what might be, but they're definitely ones you get down on, you bank your chips and you go into the next phase.
Bind! Set!
Cousins wants this straight away, but instead it's going to be Litchfield who makes more meters. They're pretty much guaranteed with him at the moment. That's a lovely line from Hunter Hill, and you can see the intent to offload. Slight breakdown, but it may have just worked out. Litchfield advances ahead into the 22. Munga slips it out the back. Green now. It's a good hit from Gareth Anscombe on a much bigger man. Wyman moves right where Saints are outnumbered. It's a streaky ball from Pearson, but Hutchinson's a match to it. Oh, that's mercurial, but it is also definitely forward.
Oh, it's worth a shout, isn't it? Really nice from Northampton Saints. This is what we're used to seeing from them. Litchfield again with an unbelievable double effort. Picking some brilliant lines. Look at that, just straightening up off the shoulder.
Okay, let's come to the mark.
And then this is Hutchinson, head up. Knows where the space is. Slightham definitely finishes that as well, but just crept forward beforehand. Saints seem to have come out this second half real shackles off. Might as well give this a crack. Opportunity to put the ball in the air and see what happens. Love to see that man on the ball a little bit more.
Changes happen in the front row for Saints. Elliot Miller-Mills has come on in place of Luke Green. It's a big season. Luke Green, 25th appearance, all competitions, and featured for England A as well against Ireland. About 50 miles away from here in Bristol in Feb. A stadium where Gloucester are desperately hoping the home side come out second best against Quins. At the moment, they're getting all the 5 points that they need, but they need Sale or Bristol to slip up. Cousins to the new man, Miller-Mills. Oh, it is Zhu way out there, isn't it? Tackle clearly called and an easy penalty, and another 10 as well.
Playing the ball on the floor, Freddie. You're not allowed to play the ball on the floor. That is the penalty. Away you go. Lewis.
There's been a couple of those, hasn't there, from
He's had a
Gloucester?
wing a couple of times now. I don't hear any more from him.
I think it's fair enough. From Anthony Woodthorpe, just to let him know that he's not really bothered about the whinging. The decision is the right one. There's been a couple of just sloppy bits at the breakdown from Gloucester, just unnecessary, giving Northampton an opportunity to get themselves in a really good area of the field and continue to put that territorial pressure on Gloucester.
Claimed smartly at the front, Litchfield's arriving, but Slighthome is the intended recipient. Muscular defence from Gloucester snuffs out the potential break.
Ball's there.
Hunter Hill receives it. The other double barrel out there, runs a questionable line. And Litchfield again, how many times has he had the ball in his hands? Hutchinson looks inside for Garside, but he's a marked man. brown at the apex of the arrow.
Let it go!
Well, Gloucester seeing the phases rack up against them, but no meter surrendered. But now it's Lumley. Just a slink of the young hips and almost through. Now the pass needs to be picked. Wyman! Why not on debut?
Yeah. Cool. Not for me. Not for me.
It's a great build-up from Northampton.
Forward, he'll come in.
There's Lumley
But not for
going
me, Lewis.
forward. Good couple of clear-outs there. And then it is, oh, brilliant reach. But Northampton just were patient in that phase play.
Tries good, Woody. There's no obvious forward pass.
Took their time when the momentum wasn't on their side. Then when they ramped it up, they really ramped it up. Lumley with that initial break to start with. And then Wyman with a brilliant, smart finish, just when the defenders are scrambling to get themselves around that breakdown.
With half a second on the clock, it's smeared through the middle of the uprights by Hutchinson. And Saints are not surrendering their crown quietly, are they? They won't be in the playoffs, but they're not going out with a whimper in their final half as champions.
Tackle! Use it!
Ruan Ackerman is back out there, and we won't be seeing Afo Fasogbon again. Katovstev will remain, and Gloucester will keep just manipulating Saints defenders. Cockgrave! Oh! A hat-trick at his home for Jack Cockgrave.
Well, that's what Gloucester can do, and they don't need many opportunities. Well, they don't have to get through much work in order to get it. This is how they set themselves up. Across the face, that ball there from Clement is the one that does it. The timing at the line, all the Northampton Saints defenders bite on those short runners.
Tries good, Woody.
And then again, you think Chris Harris can't buy a try today, can he? Cockgrave, you think could lift it on the outside. He steps in, makes the kicker a lot easier, and it's a brilliant, brilliant finish. So simple from Gloucester when they do it well. Everything at the line, making defenders make decisions, and that man will be pretty happy with his lot so far.
Well, he once wore the red and white hoops of Bideford Rugby Club in North Devon, only a stone's throw from Barnstable. He did it in fine fashion as a colt there, and it's the same old story in cherry and white now as a pro. What a bright future Jack Cockgrave has ahead of him, making waves.
Tell you what as well, if you're a winger, you want to play in this Gloucester backline, don't you? You know you're going to get plenty of ball, you know the players inside you are going to have drawn people, so you're not going to have a huge amount of defenders to beat. It's a good place to be at the moment.
Jamal Ford-Robinson onto the field against his former employer, and Anscombe goes to the skies. Carreras owns the skies. Oh, now they're playing the cherry and whites. But Northampton have repopulated their backline pretty nicely. Cockgrave on this occasion not on the Anscombe wavelength.
Just feel the energy and the noise in this place has just lifted a little bit, hasn't it? Northampton obviously with the first say of this second half, but immediately Gloucester bit back. Now they seem to have this rejuvenated sense of energy and purpose about what they're doing.
Pearson comes thundering forward and gets chopped down emphatically. Big left shoulder from Jack Clements, and straight out from the box.
Clement's been really good, hasn't he? Really physical defensively. Just saw how soft hands he had in that last passage of play to help create that try. In a back row that is stacked full of absolute world-class talent. Well, back five, sorry. He's really stepping up.
Off the top and in a blink into the midfield, Seb Atkinson is such an abrasive runner. Oh, Clement is a firebrand himself. Ackerman, that looks forward. But we play on regardless. Bit of width offered on the ball. Clement. Bounce and bumps, and Wade is flying. Oh, it is the most instinctive, impressive, and irrepressible offloading rugby from Christian Wade. A megawatt smile for their mega man. The try scorer turns creator, and Atkinson adds his name to the score sheet.
Just said Clement's name a couple of times, 3 or 4 times actually in that. He's the one that gets a couple of bumps, a couple of really physical hits initially. And then I tell you what, there is just and never has been any substitute for pace, footwork, power through tackles, and that's exactly what Christian Wade did. That's the initial bump from Clement. Great hands.
Yeah, just Woody, where
the speed of acceleration there and the offload
right.
inside. So good.
Okay, I'll see if I can find anything.
Carreras maximises the Atkinson effort, and Gloucester have a little bit of breathing space once again.
Rory, not yet.
Woody.
Yes.
Woody, no, we'll play
Jack
on this.
Clement is tough as teak, isn't he?
The arm,
he missed Newcastle through illness, which spoiled a run of 15 consecutive starts for Gloucester.
Time on.
He said at the start of the season he's here to put real fear into opposition. Well, mission accomplished on that pair of carries. Well, no one wants it there, and Thomas Williams had all the time in the world. Gloucester are threatening to break free and run Saints ragged. Tipped out the back. Well, was there a shoulder in there? Arm in there from Iogan. Oh, lovely!
Woody, we've got basically a shoulder charge by the Northampton replacement. There's no attempt to wrap, but it's just a penalty only where you are.
Where I am, okay.
Yeah.
Penalty only.
Yeah.
No arms by Northampton.
Yeah. The replacement prop, they stood behind you now.
Okay. Replacement prop. What's the number, please?
17.
17, no arms.
There was definitely a
17.
shoulder in there.
Yep.
Yeah, you called it. You could see it from miles away. Just trying to get into the game as quickly as possible. Oh, Carreras again has missed touch on that occasion.
Keep retreating. This is on one.
Jake Garside does not deserve that. The angle he had, the range he went from, the 4G can be as cruel a mistress as they come.
So cruel. I think every one of us in our head was saying what a nudge that is. The length he's able to get on that, as you say, down such a small channel. And then it's almost too good because Thomas Williams hasn't caught it. If he catches that, you probably obviously play on, but yeah, so unfortunate, as you say. 4G plus the bats of a rugby ball. Northampton are back defending. Arguably where they should have been anyway, given the penalty kick that Carreras probably should have found touch on.
Let's go, okay.
Kirill Gatovstev is there on the tight head. a whole 17-year difference in age with the man that he replaced.
Bind!
And he'll be here for one more year. Confirmed this week, the former Russian wrestler and bobslayer.
Bring our feet a little bit closer. A little bit higher. Bring our feet a little bit higher.
Don't nosedive, boss. Keep it up. Come on. Think the bucket's gone, boss.
It's not often the talent transfer you see, is it, wrestling to bobsleigh?
Keep it up, boss.
Crouch!
Well, funnily enough, Jamal Ford-Robinson is also a former pro wrestler as well, so the bookends have got a history in the ring. Gloucester try and go from the 22 turnbuckle here through Anscombe, but he finds himself a little pedestrian, and also with his pocket picked. Mapu, the replacement back row, pumps the Pistons.
50-22's on.
Well, the 50-22 is on. It scampers into that corner, and that is a piece of art from Johnny Wyman.
I didn't play advantage.
So good from Northampton Saints. It started with that initial defensive set. Probably been a bit critical of them all game in terms of that defence from strike plays. They did a really good job. They ushered Gloucester on the outside. They gave them no opportunity. Then they're able to get hold of the ball. And a 50-22 puts them in a great place.
Okay, I'm just going to talk to you. You're going to listen. Okay, this isn't a conversation. At no point did I play advantage. Yeah. At that scrum. Yeah. That's what he's appealing for. Okay. Okay. I've given an answer and he's continued to shout at me. Yeah. You need to get a grip of your players now, because I'm not having that anymore. This is not up for discussion. Deal with it.
Firm hand on the tiller, Anthony Woodthorpe, who himself has had a big season, a lot of Premiership games under his belt, and of all the fresh emerging talent we're seeing out here in white and in red, he too is a man on the rise in rugby.
Good signing, through the mark.
Benson lays it up for the unstoppable Northampton Express.
Okay.
And
you have it grounded, so we don't need to go into the post because they scored a try.
The try is awarded, and it won't go under the post. And Skaz, that's interesting, because if he had, there'd be a yellow card as well and a better outcome for the Saints.
It's always such a tough one. He was on his way because he hadn't seen a grounding himself. Craig Maxwell-Keys on that far side said that he could, so they came back, awarded the try where it was. But it's a brilliant setup from Northampton. They just haven't gone away in this game. They've stuck right in it. Always on the front foot there.
Tries there, good, mate.
Good setup, great drive. It's Freddie Clark that goes down under the pressure there from Gloucester. And as you say, if that is a penalty try, you wonder whether he's on his way over to the bench to have 10 minutes to sit down.
And it'll just be the 5, the Samoan international, Jacopo Mapu.
Yeah.
All 106 kilos of him buried at the bottom.
10. Rory. I think he's going straight, yeah. Okay, have they made their change? Yes.
Well, there is an HIA for Saints in all of this. Rory Hutchinson has made way, which brings another debutant, James Pater. Saints number 2,110 onto the field.
Knock on advantage.
And there is so much going on in this game right now. Northampton just refuse to go away. 10 points the difference. A quarter of the match to go.
Advantage is over.
And the adventure undiminished. Garside rides that hit from out of the blind spot from Harris.
I
yeah,
agree.
that's fine.
Advantage over.
Wyman fancies another 50-22. Oh, yes! The vision is one thing, the execution another, but the chutzpah of youth coursing through his actions right now.
Oh, he's really grown into this game, hasn't he? You could see him at the breakdown, he just picked his head up. See all that space, but as you say, it's one thing seeing it, but the execution was brilliant. That time, Northampton do get the bounce of the ball, kicks out right. Just starting to put a bit more pressure back on now.
Mapu smuggles it back to his halfback, and Litchfield gets his 122nd carry of the day under his belt. He is going to be worthy of his post-match ice bath, but the following carry has got all snarled up like the M5 en route here. And Gloucester get a pressure-relieving scrum because there is a confidence, there's an optimism about Northampton right now.
Please.
Yeah, there is. As I say, their youngsters are stepping up. Some of their more experienced players stepped up all game in Litchfield.
James Pater, if you've been on the internet, you'll know the face. This kid is rapid. Scored a try for England 18s against France the other day, and the Shed bid farewell to one of their own. Freddie Clark departing after 9 full-blooded seasons in Cherry and White.
Set. Stay high. Go, Tom. Go, Tom. Go,
Play away. No.
Gloucester, as has been their way all season, happy to play from anywhere. Here comes Pater, loses his feet. The Shed laugh now, but if he breaks free, they'll be chasing vapours. Mapu is a breeze block of a man, isn't he? And Hunter Hill, good to see him getting some minutes under his belt. It's been an injury-ravaged couple of seasons at Saints. He hasn't been able to do what he did with such aplomb at Saracens. Garside to Munga. I think that Garside has stepped in at 10 now in Hutchinson's absence.
22.
And he puts a diagonal bomb up. Oh, it's almost brilliantly claimed by Benson.
Well, it was Benson and Walker out on this touchline. Walker definitely didn't fancy chasing after that and getting up in the air, and he nearly did a brilliant job.
Okay, that's fine.
But it's a good option.
Shifting across as well.
Garside, as you say, stepping in at 10. Just trying to control that, feel the momentum, be in the right areas of the field.
Well, more changes coming on. Tom Lockett is in, and he's on for Archie Benson, who is a fabulous story. Signed from Lucktonians in Nat 2 West.
Time on.
So I think all those from Mortimer Park tuning in will be very proud to see the shift
Forward to be rewarded.
that the 23-year-old, he started life at Gloucester in the academy. But he makes way for another man who's made a big name for himself this season, Tom Lockett, and Gareth Anscombe too. His days in Cherry and White are done. Off to Bayonne next season.
Set.
Ackerman with a scrum half pass, and now it's the actual scrum half feeding the Puma. Oh, Christian Way. I think his eyes were bulging at the opportunity so much that he forgot to catch the ball.
Again, it's a lovely start to play. Driving at the line, quality of hands, and that ball is from Carreras is perfect. It's out in front. You can see it on his face straight away. He knows that's something he should definitely be taking. Definitely not something we've been able to say a huge amount throughout his career.
The signing of the season, to use your words, Skaz, makes way, and the people of Gloucester have quite rightly loved every second of Thomas Williams' contribution. They've also got a quality young man in Caelan Engerfield who put pen to paper on a couple more years. And I can tell you as well that Ewan Baker is on for Henry Lumley, who makes way as the youngest ever Saint to play in the Premiership. I think I said earlier that he was 18. He's actually 17 years and 317 days. Quite remarkable. And an exciting future ahead.
No compete. No compete. Falling. No foul play for me. Very low to the floor, no foul play.
Yeah, he's on the ground almost, Woody, there.
Lockett demands the ball. And he gets little change out of that exchange. Hunter Hill tips it on to Miller Mills. Eogan, Litchfield. Back into heavy traffic, might have got isolated for a moment, instead Langdon. The Nathan variety, brother of Curtis, just about squirms the ball onto the right side for Saints. Eogan, who's had a stellar season at Loosehead. Litchfield again. How many Litchfields are on the field today? Garside just looking to manipulate his way through.
Good contest.
And Munga keeps it simple, pick and go. Gloucester standing firm at the moment. It's an awful pass, miscontrolled off the left boot of Eogan, and Garside is right in the thick of things, assisted by Lockett. Gloucester are by no means home and hosed. 10 points, their lead. Saints battering at the door, and Wade back on the ball against Hunter Hill, whose long levers are just about enough at full extension to reel in the West Country Flyer.
I love the ambition that Gloucester are playing with, but they've been under so much pressure from Northampton. They get a cheap one with an inaccurate pass to get the ball back, and then they're running it out of their own 22. As you say, this game is far from over. And with the quality and spark that Northampton have, you know they can get back into this game within a couple of minutes. So for them to go into touch within their own 22, for me, it's just a little bit naive. I'd be sending that ball really long as soon as they got the turnover.
Practice off Gloucester.
Saints viciously reach for the tail.
Use it.
And it is their undoing.
9, you've got to go.
Engelfield kicks a bit of pragmatism into the game. It's not something we've seen an awful lot of today.
6 Gloucester, please.
No, it's not, and maybe sometimes you need that reminder from the previous phase in terms of Christian Wade going into touch, just to make everybody look around at each other, a few raised eyebrows, and make sure the next one goes on.
Jack Clement wearing the war wounds of another impressive performance, exemplifying his season as a whole. He's off, Freddie Thomas is on, and Ollie Slightholme is almost through. Munga has to hurdle the prone body of Lewis Ludlow to make it as half-back. Garside, what's he going to do next? Litchfield, of course it's Litchfield. Can't thread the ball through the forest of shins. Engelfield, an air ball. And I'm not entirely sure who that's come off, but it's bubbled over in the process.
We'll go time off.
if there is a stand anywhere in England to do it in front of, I think that they picked the most passionate and vociferous one in the land. I think that goes down as a self-nutmeg.
Yeah, I don't think it actually went out, did it?
You got 7 tackling the man off the ball there.
Yeah, the Saints player's not in possession.
Yeah,
you're correct.
He's not in possession, so
yeah.
it's definitely at least a penalty.
Yeah.
Looking at anything more?
I don't see anything. I
don't see anything else. Yeah, so they're going to restart a penalty.
Yeah,
we're aware.
That's fine, Woody.
We're aware. So we're going to restart the penalty on the 15th to Saints. Okay, I'm going to speak to both captains as well.
The penalty is played without the ball.
Yeah, penalty. Right, so can I get the captain? Yeah, so you can't tackle a man who's just... You can't tackle a man who's fly hacking the ball. So, who's the captain? Lads. Definitely a penalty against you tackling a man about the ball, so that's what we're going to restart. You've got to tackle the man when he's got hold of the ball. Okay. Can't tackle him when he's fly hacking the ball. All right, we don't have that aftermath again. Okay, so it'll be your penalty on the 50. Hold on.
And people say games in the last round of the season when there's not a lot on it don't mean much to these players. I think they've proved in that it means a hell of a lot to them. Both sides still fighting for it. 10 minutes to go, 10 points in it. Could be a cracking end to this game.
Well, that's what George Phil Dowson said before the match. There's always something at stake. And it's echoed in the leap from Arthur Clarke, who steals some Saints ball, who have Rory Hutchinson back on the field at the expense of Toby Cousins, with James Pater remaining on deck at fullback. Englefield puts one up to compete. Wade rises highest.
Tackle now!
There's a bit of a bar brawl at the breakdown, that's for sure. And it's one that Gloucester win.
Come in. You appeal again. Ease off. That's the mark. Time off. Side entry by 20.
Well, come what may, playoffs or not, Kingsholm and the Shed are alive once more, aren't they? Reverberating around the entire county this afternoon. Last season, in the penultimate game of the regular season, Gloucester suffered a 90-0 defeat at the hands of this Saints team. And now they've got this rock and roll brand of attacking rugby to enjoy, and I think the smiles tell it all, don't they?
Entry.
Wade ignored, but Gloucester still through. It bounces off the knee, and Gloucester continue to play.
No!
Tariq Afar levers his body onto the ball, but doesn't come away with it. Harris, he'd love a try, and so would Kingsholm.
Tackle!
Seb Blake battered back. Time ticking down on Saints' title defence. Still within reach, but a try now puts the contest to bed and gets Gloucester fans on their phones looking at scores elsewhere. George Barton threads a kick through, invites the chase, but it's one that the dead ball line will win.
Number 22 option.
It's a really nice
Scrum
idea. It's
22.
good variation. It's
Scrum
continued
22.
pressure from Gloucester. Just a little bit heavy. We've seen it earlier, just how the ball bounces off this artificial turf. But again, now Northampton
11 change.
will drop out. And Gloucester will return with interest yet again.
Will Butler is coming onto the field, but let's sit back and listen to the applause for the hat-trick man, Jack Cotgreve. Life's all good in the Cotgreve garden right now, isn't it?
Crouch. Bind. Set. Stay high. Go, go, go.
Saints are not down and out yet. Hutchinson, BITER bursts free, gets a clip of the ankles and then gets ended by George Barton. Mapu takes three to stop him. Munga, oh, bounces off Ackerman.
No.
You don't say that too often. And the strip is denied. Litchfield to Baker. Miller Mills.
There's a knock on, we're going to go back for the entry. Side entry 7.
There was a penalty in Saints' back
And in
pocket.
that tackle, Woody's legs go above the horizontal, but you're okay where you are with that penalty.
There's a definite difference since Hutchinson has
7
come back
side
on
entry,
into that
slows down the ball.
10 role for Northampton, just in terms of the speed at which they're playing out the flow, their ability to go front door, back door. It's been really, really impressive. And as you said, we just saw the pace, just a snippet of the pace from BITER there.
Whatever happens, whatever the outcome, Phil Dowson is going to look back fondly on this 80 minutes because his young Saints have stood up to be counted under the partisan eye of Kingsholm, with Gloucester questing for a playoff.
Balls available.
This one will be carried tight.
Okay, enough now.
Litchfield somehow has more running and another carry in him. Now it's Brown who is dispossessed. The ball squirms free, but crucially backwards for Gloucester.
Gloucester have had a few of those, haven't they? Those held up wrap tackles and just trying to squirm to keep that ball alive, and unfortunately just goes forward in the process. But Gloucester have had a couple of clutch moments where they've been able to really hold up and squeeze the possession of the Northampton players.
That's sensible rugby from Caelan Englefield into Rose Eds. It'll take some time to get play back underway, and with the clock against Saints, Gloucester may just be beginning to relax. But you have to credit Saints' character and their resolve. Every time they've come back and they found a variety of ways to break down Gloucester as well.
100%, and sometimes you learn more about your players in those situations. That period just before half-time with that double try from Gloucester, out of not a lot really, you thought that could really be the unravelling, but it wasn't. Northampton stuck in it. They got themselves back on the scoreboard and have, you know, a couple of inaccuracies here and there, but otherwise really tested this Gloucester defence at times.
Langdon skips back in to the melee.
Let it go!
I think he pushed the envelope as far as he could there with Anthony Woodthorpe barking in his ear. Hutchinson to Mapu. Again, requires 3 Gloucester players.
Enough now, the hands. Garnish not rolling. Lands on the wrong side.
Saints, if they are to strike, they need to do so quick. BITER doesn't get the better of Wade. And we come back.
20 metres in from me, really. A bit more this way. 20 falls on the wrong side. Must be able to bail out.
Hutchinson says, let's go. And he feeds the beast, Mapu.
No.
Ayogan. Less than 2 minutes remaining. Miller Mills has had a big impact since coming on, the Scottish prop. And Litchfield, well, we've almost worn out his name. The number of involvements that he's had. The people of Gloucester look to rouse their boys one final time this season. Just 2 wins all campaign last year to sing about. This will be a 7th if they can close it out.
Come through in the middle.
The tide has turned down in the West Country for the Cherry and Whites. A wonderful charge down and maybe a magic moment to close out the season. And who else could it be than Wizardly Wade to wave his try-scoring wand one last time at Kingsholm.
Oh, Northampton could not have banged at the door more. They threw everything into that. Johnny Wyman has played the whole game, really struggling to still get around the field, and you're chancing your arm at that point. Hutchinson puts in the kick, and as soon as the ball is turned over, you're thinking, go and find the quick men on the edges. It's exactly what they do. I mean, Christian Wayne looks like he's not even trying at that point, doesn't he? Such a smooth runner of the ball.
You've got 18 seconds.
One more on his incredibly impressive try tally. What a finish.
Not my problem.
Well, the shot clock is ticking down and they don't have a ball. Now they do. It's Ackerman on the tee. It's not an effort he'll be remembered for. He'll be remembered for all the blood, the sweat, the tears and endeavour that he and all the departing 19 Gloucestermen have given this great club over the many years of service. And he and the Cherry and Whites go out on a high. And Skaz, time for your player of the match.
I think I can't not mention how good Tom Litchfield was today. We mentioned him throughout the game. He carried an unbelievable amount of metres. I think the back line for Gloucester was superb at times, how they ripped the Saints' defence apart. And a massive byproduct for this man on screen. Hat-trick hero, Jack Cockgreave is a Gallagher player of the match. Definitely a recipient of some fantastic ball from those inside him, but nonetheless, what an exciting talent and future he has ahead of him.
But stats to die for if you live life on the edge with 11 on your back, 3 tries, 7 clean breaks, 7 defenders beaten. Stats to savour. And the other guy on the other edge, he weren't bad too. It'll be a sad sight to see Christian Wade wave farewell, but we have had a romp here at Kingsholm on the final day of the regular season. Gloucester have done everything that they can do to potentially book a playoff berth, a bonus point win. They have bested the defending champions Northampton 41 points to 26.